Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like tonight's film, 1969's INFRASEXUM, a Carlos Tobalina film. INFRASEXUM, put out by Vinegar Syndrome, got this on their Black Friday sale. Pink case, or pink cover at that. 1969. Got the gender symbol here, whatever direction it's pointing. But this is INFRASEXUM. There's a shot of the front there, and we got some shots right back there. All right, let's get into it. 1969. This is a film that has the story of an older man who's having a bit of a sexual crisis, mixed with possibly a midlife crisis, later life crisis. And he goes on a journey and meets a friend along the way and meets other people along the way and discovers through some introspection and through some psychology some new things about himself. And you are taking the adventure with him away from his home, away from his job, and into Las Vegas and the Sunset Strip and LA in general. And you are with him and with the people he meets, including a good friend of his. And this is INFRASEXUM. It's a wild, wild, stylish, awesome, deep, sexy movie. Let's get into it, folks. First and foremost, the music. The music in INFRASEXUM is wall to wall. There is music everywhere in this movie. We have percussion that has an exotic flavor. We have psychedelic, exotic, psychedelic late 60s rock. We have heavy jazz, elegant, sultry, smoky, loungy type music, sleazy jazz. It's all throughout the movie, and it fits the scenes absolutely perfectly. The bass plucking, the saxophone, everything, the percussion and the bass is pounding through the whole film, and it gives you a definite 1969 vibe, especially in Vegas. And it just really gives you a feel, and a traveling feel, because in this film we have narration, kind of an inner monologue from the lead character of the film. So as he escapes his life, we the viewer are now escaping our lives with him, and he gives you his kind of inner monologue and introspection throughout the entire film, which gives it a kind of traveling sexploitation, exploitation, dramatic adventure, late 60s adventure. This is a film, from the title you can tell this is a film of sexuality, but it is also a film of locations and characters. And those locations are the bright lights of Las Vegas. I've never seen them before cinematically for this time frame, by the way. Unbelievable. Wait till you see the names on those on the boards and everything, who's there. You'll kick yourself. And Los Angeles, California, and the characters like his friend Carlos, who I believe might be the man who made the film. I think he's in the film, and if so, he's getting a lot of fun times in the film. The cinematography in the movie, we have very abrupt edits at times, things that cut, but in the abrupt cutting, we have a flow. Throughout the abrupt cutting, we have a flow. We have a story flow that is being expressed through those abrupt cuts. We have very close-up shots in this movie, predominantly sexually speaking as well. Very close-up shots of nipples and of vaginas, legs, feet. It's all here. and beautiful shots of Las Vegas at night, and beautiful driving shots. He also uses fast motion at times, and that fast motion, interestingly enough, is also mentioned in the monologue. So while you're watching a section very sped up, it's actually noticed and mentioned by the lead character according to the storyline. And just excellent driving sequences. Um, Beautiful, sunny LA and bright lights of Las Vegas. It's all expressed here, folks. Of course, the skin um, is is um, is shot, sultry and fine and smooth and you wait till you see all these different pads that people live in. Look at the pictures on the walls, look at the circular beds, look at where the windows are, look at the sheepskin and the blankets and the sheets. You just get that whole late 60s on the cusp of the 70s. This is also a film while you're traveling with this lead character. And I'm not giving anything away, folks, but it does deal with impotence also and sexual energy and drives and things like that. But you're also getting a bit of a documentary as you're getting footage of hippies in LA at that time, just doing things. An interesting, I think, Latino carnival. You're also getting just the hippie culture um, and painting and the beautiful snowy mountains of California as well, with waterfalls. Some of the most unbelievable shots in the movie and cinematically that I've seen in a movie like this. Up there in those mountains of California, unbelievable shots. I mean, I almost thought it was fake. Uh, I mean, you wouldn't see some shots like that in a big budget movie today at your local theater. So really unbelievable shots. Um, I really loved the lead character in this film. He's an older man, but he's an attractive older man, and just the way he speaks, the way he goes about his life, the way he goes about his introspection and his struggles, and his friendship with Carlos. I really love their friendship, and it's a complicated and bizarre friendship, definitely. And speaking of bizarre, this is definitely a bizarre mashup of a film because with the title INFRASEXUM, you're thinking, what kind of sexploitation film is this going to be? Well, it's going to be a sexploitation film that's going to really be crossing genres and be a big mashup. A mashup of documentary, a mashup of exploitation with some horror, and crime, and almost just just regular exploitation, and late 60s drama. I mean, you have that all in here. Um, it's a film that has some shocking moments as well. Like I said, even violently. There's a pretty disgustingly shocking gore section in this film that's hinted at on the case of the film, but it really sucker punched me. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, an INFRASEXUM, didn't know. So the movie, while he's taking an adventure, you're taking an adventure through different genres, through different environments and people, and it goes through his days with his money and the encounters, and he has some pretty dark encounters, some pretty dark things go down in the movie. But also, the movie deals with some pretty weighty themes for a sexploitation, a low-budget film from the late 60s. Some really weighty themes, even dealing with some religion, some philosophy, some introspection, like I said before, some psychology, some counseling issues, some parent issues, and of course, deep-rooted sexual inadequacies and marriage and children and all of this kind of stuff. And mixed with all of that, you also get some really fun sex scenes, some lesbian sex scenes, heterosexual sex scenes, and you get full nudity from the women, and from the men you get butts and you can see some testicles and a quick shot of side penis. The sex scenes are, I mean, they look implied. They could have been real, possibly, but implied oral sex, humping. The sex scenes are actually pretty wild. The one scene in particular involving two girls um, was, very erotic, very just well done. Look like everybody looks like real people. Some massive sized breasts on this guy's wife in the film. I mean, eye popping. I mean, it's like this film's not in 3D, but the way they film it is in 3D. It's crazy. But when you watch the sex scenes in the context of the film, it really takes on a whole nother world, because the context of the storyline is very interesting and very unique. Because there are a lot of sexploitation films that deal with a similar topic initially, but it's the direction this movie takes, especially in the climax of the film, that really kind of goes into another it meanders in some new places. All the girls in the film, I thought were attractive, sexually attractive in their own ways. Lots of diversity in the film, lots of interesting things, lots of shocking exploitation type moments in this film. This is a film that you go on a journey with this guy, and you actually like the people. They're interesting. There's some weird crap that goes down. Some moments that you are not prepared for, like I said before, that will really kind of sideswipe you. And really, I got to say, this is a film with a lot of style, a lot of presence, a lot of atmosphere. And that atmosphere is freewheeling, freedom, even with the pain of the lead character in this film, because there is pain for that lead character. This is a film of freedom. It's a film of breaking free and experiencing life and living your freaking life and breaking away. And getting away and taking a vacation. I mean, this is all in here, folks. There's a lot of wild themes in here. There's even drug use in here, acid, wild psychedelic bands. I mean, it's a wild film. Goings on in a park somewhere. I mean, it's weird stuff, awesome stuff. This is INFRASEXUM. Very, very unique sexploitation film put out by Vinegar Syndrome. Here it is, folks, 1969 INFRASEXUM, 87 minutes long. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like INFRASEXUM. Please feel free to check out all my other reviews on my YouTube page. Jess Franco, exploitation, sexploitation, erotica, horror, bizarre, underground, surreal. It's all here, folks. Thank you so much, and please feel free to check out my own personal films at youtube.com/poopydiarrhea. Thank you, and good night.